Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of Crypto Corner. Today is Monday, it's the beginning of a new week, and we're gonna go through the markets, of course, as usual, as we do, and we're going to also look at the news to find out what is going on with crypto today. Stay tuned. Okay, so let's get started. It is Monday indeed. It is the beginning of the week. We did have a bit of a movement over the last few days, over the weekend. I'm gonna go through that in a few minutes, but first let me say thank you to the sponsors of this video, Cobalt Lend. This is a brand new community-driven lending platform that aims to decentralize the borrowing and lending industry with the use of blockchain technology. The Cobalt Lend platform allows borrowers to get access to hassle-free capital, approved, voted and supported by a community treasury in order to get any size loan without the oversight of a bank. They are currently in pre-sale of their CBLT token via BX exchange, and their initial exchange offering just started last week. So to take part in this sale and get your hands on the token at pre-sale prices, head over to cobaltlend.com. You will actually find the link in the description of this video. The token is already supported by all ERC20 wallets with MetaMask as well. You can even do an instant swap, for instance, for any other ERC20 token of your choice, or alternatively, you can use Bancor or Uniswap or Muniswap exchanges, and you can also stake the token. Staking is already live. They have grown a lot since the first time that we featured them on this channel, and in fact, they have expanded their community by more than 138% in the span of the last couple of months. So make sure that you check them out, grab the links from the description box. Now, as usual, first we start with the overlook of the markets. Okay, and we have on the markets right now, we see that there is a bit of red happening. The top currencies are actually in positives, but as we scroll down, we see Cardano is correcting a little bit, Polkadot is correcting, BNB. Nothing too major, nothing too strong as well. Monero is probably the biggest gainer in the top 20. It has gained 10% over the last 24 hours. And another one that is doing not too bad is Waves, even though Waves is still far below its all-time highs and everything, but it is in fact at 8% gains in the last 24 hours, and in the last month it has gained around 100%. Actually, in Bitcoin price it's 97%, but in dollar value it's 155%. Not bad for Waves. So this is really the main the key movers here in the top cryptocurrencies. There was a bit of correction going on over the weekend. We lost a few $100 in Bitcoin. We went down to 18. We've been basically consolidating between 18,800 and 19,200. Today we are at 19,200. We did go briefly to 19,400, but we are now settling around 19,200. Ethereum hasn't really been doing much. It's been between 590 and 600 and 603 or something like that. XRP is also settling around 60 cents. There's actually a bit of news about XRP. I'm going to go into that in the news section. So let's have a look at the Bitcoin chart and what we can actually see. So we are still in that wedge pattern here. We are still consolidating within the parameters and the restraints of this wedge pattern. However, we are actually trying to break out. We are seeing that we are challenging the resistance right now more than what we were doing with the support. If you remember in my previous video, I was talking about challenging the support more than the resistance. Well, we have turned it. We are now challenging the resistance more, and as we start testing this resistance again and again and again, at some point we are bound to break out of it, and I feel that the time is coming sooner. Hopefully this week, maybe even over the next couple of days, we're gonna see. If we fail that resistance, as you know, that means that we will be going to be testing the support levels, and it's very likely that we will break that support if we go there. Not that we definitely will, but if we fail the resistance and we start testing support, it is very likely that we might actually break that support, because that support has been tested a few times already, and with every new retest there is a stronger possibility of a break. And if we break that support of the trend line, then we will be going towards the lower support levels, which is mid 18,000 range. Then lower than that is the 7,800 range, and then below that we don't even have to worry about that right now, because I'm pretty sure that these support levels will be holding. By the look of it, we are actually being very strong here at this level. This is the only time in Bitcoin's history that we have managed to consolidate around the 19,000 level for so long. I'm curious to see whether we'll finally break out of this resistance and go for the 20 and maybe even 21k, which I'm expecting. Not everyone agrees with me, but I am personally expecting that. In terms of Bitcoin dominance, we're also growing ever so slightly. So we went down to 61% not long ago, but since then we started recovering that, and we are now at 62.59%. We are also in a wedge pattern here, and we are within the constraints of that wedge pattern. If we start growing here in dominance, that is not very good news for the altcoins, so you have to watch out for that. The RSI is actually quite low, which means that we actually have room to grow right now, and it's possible that if Bitcoin starts making a move on the upside, the dominance will definitely grow with it, and it will hit the altcoins. So it might not be the best time to be holding altcoins, but the altcoins are actually doing not too bad during this consolidation of Bitcoin, because as you know, when Bitcoin is moving sideways, it gives room for altcoins to grow and catch up with it. Okay, so this is briefly the markets. Nothing really too major happening over the last few days. Now let's go into the news section and see what can we find there. Okay, well, we're starting the news with, of course, a reminder that we have another record. So Crypto Potato is reporting that Bitcoin price records the highest ever weekly close. Now, after last month's highest ever monthly close, we are now printing the highest ever weekly close above 19k. So this is big news. And of course, again, we start with the predictions of Bitcoin reaching 100,000, 200,000, 300,000. I've already mentioned all of these predictions to you. In fact, let me see, is that the tweet? Yes. So this is one of the analysts that are very popular on Twitter and is being quoted in many different articles, Willy Woo. He's basically talking, in my previous video I mentioned one of his tweets where he's talking about Bitcoin reaching 200,000 by next year, and he even said that this is quite a conservative prospect for him. He now feels that it will actually go to 300,000 by the end of 2021. We're gonna see how this will play out. Now there is another there is another prediction that he's making here. He's saying that if we assume that Bitcoin's adoption rate continues at its current rate, which is 2.2 times a year for Bitcoin, then Moore's law of growth, which Bitcoin has followed for 10 years so far, will predict that in 4 years' time, by the end of 2024, Bitcoin should have already been adopted by more than 30% of the world population. Well, we'll see how this will play out, but this is actually a very good projection, because if Bitcoin is actually adopted by 30%, if 30% of the world owns Bitcoin, then the price will be much higher than this, and really we are talking about in the hundreds of thousands, because imagine it's almost 20,000 right now, and it's less than 10% of the population. So we're talking a huge adoption. Let's not forget Bitcoin's supply is limited, it's not getting any more, and if we have 20% of the population more adopting Bitcoin than right now, that means that the price will go up, because we're talking about much higher demand and still same supply. No raise in the supply, only jump in the demand. So this is an important factor to take into. Bloomberg is reporting then that the rich are now starting to consider Bitcoin. Yet again, nothing new about this. I'm not even going to go into details about this. Now, what's important here, what I actually forgot to mention in my previous videos when Ripple was going up, is that there is a hard fork. In fact, there is a new token that will be created, and this is actually was driving the first surge in the price of Ripple. And for those of you who are holding Ripple, this is important to know, because remember that date, 11th of December. By the 11th of December, which is this Friday, you will need to have moved your Ripple into a wallet that will be allowing for you to get advantage of this fork. It's basically FLARE Network, it's called. It's a new smart contract utility fork for XRP, and it will be dropping, I'm quoting here blockchain.news, it will be dropping more than 45 billion of its native Spark token on December the 12th. The snapshot, however, will be taken on December the 11th, so you need to be aware of that. Anyone owning Ripple XRP and participating in the airdrop up to this point will be able to receive Spark tokens on a 1-to-1 ratio. So this is basically a new token that you will be getting just as an XRP holder. Airdropping tokens are a way for new cryptocurrency projects to introduce their new startup. Many leading cryptocurrency exchanges such as Binance and Coinbase as well have announced that XRP holders leveraging their platforms will be able to benefit from the airdrop of free Spark tokens. The initiative was first announced on November the 13th, so not very long ago. And let me just go to the other article. So basically, this is a sort of an Ethereum-like solution to bring smart contracts to Ripple. It is a fork, it is a separate network, so it's not going to be on Ripple itself, but it will provide that utility for the XRP token. And as I said, on the 11th of December, I actually can't find it here right now. They're all talking about the 12th of December, which is the day when they will launch the token. But the snapshot, I'm pretty sure, is going to be taken on the 11th of December. So this is important for you to know. So if you want to, if you're holding your XRP in a hardware wallet, then you might want to move it to an exchange just for a few days, so that you take advantage of the fork, and the exchange basically does the airdrop for you. Otherwise, you will have to figure out how to go and claim this the new token on your own if you're holding it in your hardware wallet. So if you're holding a huge amount of XRP and you don't really want to move it to an exchange, that's okay. You don't have to. You will be able to claim it yourself, but you will have to figure out how. In my case, I'm holding a small bag of XRP. I can't remember how many, maybe like 3,000 or 5,000 or something like that. It's not a lot. So I will be moving it to an exchange that is supporting, like Binance, or I will find out, I will actually update you on which are the exchanges that will support. In my next video, I will give you an update on that. So if you want to move it to an exchange, you can do that. If you want to, claim it yourself, then we'll see how it will be. We'll have to wait first for the wallets to release their own instructions and everything. So this is about XRP. Make sure that you take action before the end of this week if you want to get your hands on this token. It will be distributed on 1-to-1 ratio. So however many XRP you hold, that many Spark tokens you will get as well. And at first, Coinbase was not saying anything about the fork, was not really kind of keeping quiet about it. But now CoinDesk is reporting that they have announced this Saturday, they have announced plans to support that upcoming airdrop. So these are the news around XRP. The good news is that currently the price hasn't really been pumping after this, because it already did its pump. So it is kind of stabilized around 60 cents. So for people who missed and didn't buy it earlier, I mean, you're not really gonna miss much by buying it right now, because it seems like 60 cents, it's quite a decent support. And there is still more room to grow for XRP. It's not really done, it's not finished its pumps. XRP has a lot more room to grow, and it is one of the coins that I am kind of holding longer term and waiting for a bigger pump before I'm selling my XRP. Now, In other news, the Chinese digital yuan is now starting to be tested. You know, I've already mentioned about this, the CBDC, the Central Bank Digital Currency of China, which was kind of nicknamed digital yuan. It's actually got a different official name. Let me find it here. It is called Digital Currency Electronic Payment, DCEP. That's the China's digital yuan, and it's now being tested. It says here that over 1,000 people will take part in an upcoming trial that will take place in the city of Suzhou. I think it's how you should pronounce it, a tourist-centric city near Shanghai. Sorry, but China is one of the few places that I actually still haven't visited. That's why I'm struggling with pronouncing these names. Testers will be airdropped the digital yuan and tap their smartphones with each other to transfer money to supposedly replicate the experience of giving out cash in a traditional setting. So I'm not really happy about this news. As you know, my view on digital currencies is not very positive, but I'm not going to continue repeating myself. You today is reporting that Bitcoin has gained 500% since its crash in March, and it's kind of basically they're kind of trying to find content to write here. I don't really agree with this article. Almost 500% growth since March. It is not true. It is not really 500%. It is in fact 400%. And yes, you can say that 400 is close to 500 and it's almost 500 or something like that, but it is quite a difference. It's 100% difference. So let's not go crazy about it. I did estimate it here. So this is the drop in March. On the 12th of March, we actually dumped to 3,886. This is the lowest we recorded, and the highest that we recorded was just a few days ago at 19,900, and this is exactly 416% growth since March. Well, it is remarkable indeed, right? But it is not 500%, and I hate when I see articles overblowing these figures just for the shock factor. It's also been posted on Twitter and everything. Everyone is talking about Bitcoin gaining 500% this year. It didn't. It gained 400% at best, and from the beginning of the year, in fact, because not many people were buying it during this dump here. Many people were scared. Many people were waiting to see how far low it will go, and then as it started recovering, they were buying it on the way up. So it's not really that many people that were buying it at the 3,800. It's not also that many people who gained 400% in Bitcoin since March. So let's not go crazy about it. It was just a title that a headline that I saw, and I wanted to mention it here. Now, I already quoted this tweet. Another article, now this is a funny article, a curious article, I should say. CNBC is reporting about a family that is actually traveling the world and surviving solely on Bitcoin. It's a Dutch family. They actually did a report back in 2017 about them. They got Bitcoin at around $900 price, and in 2017 they sold their house, 3 cars, motorcycles, whatever they had, all their material possessions they sold, and they moved into Bitcoin. So they went all in Bitcoin. Well, it's not something that is really safe or clever to do. I mean, even though I am almost all in Bitcoin, I still have certain assets that are outside of cryptocurrencies. So I don't know whether I would really advise you to do that, and certainly not at this point. But I mean, they got lucky. They really got lucky because they got in during the biggest pump of Bitcoin, and they managed to make significant gains from $900. So even when Bitcoin was dropping down and losing all of this value in 2018 and 2019, they were still in profit. So good on them. Of course, they're doing a blog and they're promoting their lifestyle. They have basically decided not to work, not to pay for anything if they cannot do it in Bitcoin. And it's interesting because they went to Turkey, through Bulgaria, through countries in the Eastern Bloc and everything. In many of these countries, you don't even have Bitcoin ATMs or anything. So I'm not really sure how successful they were. But they said that so far they have managed to even pay for visas in Bitcoin. Don't ask me how. I'm personally not that adventurous. I do travel a lot, but I like to pay wherever I can with fiat, and trying to hold my crypto for as long as I can, so that I can actually make bigger gains on my crypto. For me, crypto adoption is not only about paying with crypto. Even just holding crypto is also adoption, because you are actually holding an asset, and you're helping that asset, you know, for the scarcity of that asset. Holding it is actually good. It means that it is not very much in circulation, so it's less of it available in circulation. So the more holders of an asset, the better it will perform, because it means less of volume for it on exchanges and everything. So for me, holding it is perfectly fine, guys. I don't mind holding. Okay, let me see what's the last news here. Okay, so basically, blockchain news again is reporting that the Bitcoin rally this time is backed by big-time investors, and it is the gateway to mainstream crypto adoption. They say, as compared to 2017, when Bitcoin neared the psychological barrier of 20,000, the cryptocurrency's bullish momentum then was backed by retail investors with FOMO. They really all got into a FOMO mode back in 2017. I must admit, I was making videos already, and I remember talking about the new all-time highs and how we're going to probably surpass 20,000. Well, many people expected it, so of course the market didn't do what everyone expected, and it didn't go above the 20k, but nevertheless everything was really bullish. Even, you know, I was passing on the street, passing by people, pretty much everyone was talking about this new thing, Bitcoin, that is now trading around $20,000, and you know how it will make you rich and all of that. So yeah, definitely we were in a FOMO, in a bubble. However, this time they say Bitcoin has been endorsed by larger size investments from corporate giants such as MicroStrategy, Square, Grayscale, I talked about it in the previous videos, and Stone Ridge. So this is the big difference between Bitcoin in 2017 and Bitcoin today. Now we have institutional money and corporate money involved, and much bigger accounts that actually solidify Bitcoin as one of the investments in rich people's portfolios, which is also the article from Bloomberg that was also saying. So this is why in this rally we're actually going to see Bitcoin go much higher than what we were projecting back in 2017. I remember talking about, you know, Bitcoin going to 30 and 50k. Now we're talking about Bitcoin going to 200k and 300k. And lastly, there is one kind of a slightly more pessimistic projection here for Bitcoin. It is coming from the CEO of cryptoquaint.com, on-chain analyst. He is saying that the whale ratio on BTC spot exchanges right now indicates that there is a short-term bearish trend that has just started. And he says, historically, if this indicator goes above 95%, meaning 95% of the deposits are coming from the top 10 accounts, you know, the top 10 deposits, then the market is likely to be bearish or going sideways. And he's giving here an example. This is the screenshot. He's giving here an example of Bitcoin being right now in the bearish zone, which is up here in the 95%. If we look at the next example, let me just switch to that. So this is 2020. This is in March 2020, which is just before we went into that strong correction, big drop. Actually, it was a market crash, in fact. And the market crash happened here, as you can see. So just prior to that, we were also in the bearish zone at the 95%, which is what he is pointing out here as an analysis. So this is something that we have to take into account. This is a metric that I have never actually considered before, never really seen before. Here he's giving yet another example. This is in the 2019 bull run, which happened in the middle of the year. June, it was, I think, when we were reaching the highs. And as we went in those high levels here, we went in the bearish zone, and then we corrected straight after that. We actually started correcting even at the time when we went into that bearish zone. So this is what he is referring to. As we enter the bearish zone, it shows that we have entered a corrective wave. So this is also very likely that is going to be the case. Now let's have a quick look at the fear and greed index. I want to quickly check this because I haven't done it in a while. I haven't done it in the last 2 or 3 videos, and we have been, oh wow, we are in extreme greed, guys. 94%. We are due a correction. I'm calling it right now. We are due a correction, maybe starting today. We're gonna go below 19k, and if you're waiting to purchase Bitcoin, hold on tight because you might be able to do that. The dip will definitely be an opportunity to buy. Make no mistakes, we are not going into a bear cycle or anything like that. We are just having a dip that would be the perfect accumulation opportunity for you. Now, this is really everything from me, guys. This concludes my report for today, the news and everything. Also, don't forget to watch my video from yesterday. I did a completely thorough review on a brand new device called Opolo Cosmos. I have it here, and I showed you all the features and everything. It is actually a really good device, very small and compact, and still large enough because it's a touch screen. The whole device here is the screen, so it is large enough to type everything perfectly, easily. Use it. You can use it on the go with your mobile phone. It's got the most secure chip. 6 Plus is the certification, the latest chip. It's more secure than even Ledger Nano X, which has the 5 Plus chip, and Trezor doesn't even have that chip. So really good device. Make sure that you watch the video. You will actually see it linked up here. And also I did announce a free giveaway of the device. So if you want to find out how, make sure that you watch the video and you follow the instructions on that video. Basically, you have to go and follow Opolo Wallet on Twitter, and the best thing would be to just go and send them a suggestion for a feature that you want to be implemented in the future on this device. They will be selecting a winner, and they will be sending a free device to the winner. Also, if you are not going to be the winner of this, because of course there's only one winner, not everyone can win, you can still get a special deal from you can grab the link in the description box here, or you can go in my review video and see it there. I announced 51% discount in the pre-sale. They're currently in pre-sale, so you can grab this device at 51% discount if you want. This will be a limited time opportunity, so make sure that you go and watch the review, and if you like what you see, go and get it at half price while you still can. This is everything from me for this video. Thanks for watching until the end. If you liked it, give me the thumbs up, leave a comment below, also share it with someone else who can benefit from watching it. Thanks for staying until the end. I'm signing off, and I'm gonna see you in my next video.